There are moments in life when you feel completely alone, as if the weight of the world rests solely on your shoulders. You pray for answers, for relief, for some kind of sign that everything will be okay. But nothing seems to change. The silence feels heavy. The struggle continues. Yet what if I told you that in those exact moments, you're being protected in ways you cannot see? Sometimes the battles you don't see are the ones that matter most. God's protection doesn't always arrive with fanfare or obvious miracles. It works quietly, behind the scenes, redirecting paths you were never meant to walk and closing doors that would have led to heartbreak. Think about the relationship that fell apart just when you thought it was meant to be. Think about the job opportunity that slipped through your fingers. At the time, it felt like loss, like rejection, like abandonment. But looking back, can you see how those closed doors kept you from pain you never had to experience? What feels like a delay may be a shield you can't see. Divine protection isn't about getting everything you want. It's about being spared from everything you don't need. And that invisible guard, it's been there all along. Loneliness has a way of convincing you that nobody understands what you're going through. It whispers that you've been forgotten, that your prayers go unheard, that maybe you're not worthy of protection at all. But here is the truth that loneliness doesn't want you to know. Isolation is often the birthplace of transformation. The silence you feel is an emptiness. It's a divine space, being prepared. When God is protecting your heart, He sometimes removes distractions, toxic connections, and false comforts that were never meant to stay. That feeling of being alone, it's not abandonment, it's refinement. It's the clearing of ground, so something stronger can be built within you. Every prophet, every person of deep faith, has walked through seasons of solitude, not because they were unloved, but because they were being prepared for something greater than they could imagine. You may feel alone, but your heart is never truly unguarded. The very act of feeling this deeply, of questioning, of seeking meaning in the silence, that itself is evidence of divine presence. God doesn't protect hearts that don't matter. He protects hearts that are destined for purpose, and yours is one of them. You knocked on a door with everything you had. You believed it was meant for you. You poured your hope, your energy, your heart into making it open. And then it slammed shut. The pain was immediate. The confusion, overwhelming. Why would God let you get so close only to pull it away? But here is what you could unsee in that moment. What was on the other side of that door? Every door that closes is a secret blessing waiting to be revealed. That relationship you fought so hard to keep. It would have drained every ounce of light from your soul. That career path, that seemed perfect. It would have led you further from your true calling. That friendship you mourned losing, it was quietly poisoning your peace. What felt like rejection was actually God steering your heart away from disaster you never had to witness. Protection doesn't always feel kind in the moment. Sometimes it feels like loss, like failure, like the universe is against you. But when you look back years later, you'll see the pattern. ULLC, how every closed door saved you from a version of your life that would have broken you. Divine redirection is love in its most merciful form. There's a unique kind of pain that comes when someone you trusted walks away without explanation. No closure, no final conversation. Just absence, where presence used to be. You replay every moment, searching for what you did wrong, wondering if you weren't enough. But what if their departure had nothing to do with your worth and everything to do with your protection? Some people aren't meant to stay, but their leaving is a sign of care. Not from Tim, but from a power greater than both of you. God sees what you cannot. He sees the version of them that would emerge months or years down the line. He sees the way their energy would slowly dim your light, the way their words would chip away at your confidence, the way their presence would keep you from becoming who you're meant to be. Loss can feel painful, but it's also proof of unseen protection. When someone exits your life abruptly, it's not always about punishment or rejection. Sometimes it's about preservation. Their chapter in your story had to end so a better one could begin. And though it hurts now, one day you'll thank God for the people He loved you enough to remove. Waiting feels like punishment, like being stuck in place while everyone else moves forward. You watch others receive their blessings, their breakthroughs, their answered prayers, and you wonder why your season hasn't arrived yet. The days turn into weeks. the weeks into months, and with each passing moment, doubt creeps in a little deeper. But what if waiting isn't about being overlooked? What if it's about being prepared? Waiting isn't wasted, it's preparation your heart needs. Think of a seed buried beneath the soil. To the outside world, nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, roots are forming, strength is building, foundation is being laid. Without that hidden season of growth, the seed could never withstand the weight of what it's meant to become. Your waiting period is doing the same thing. It's developing patience you'll need for future responsibilities. It's teaching you resilience that will carry you through storms ahead. It's refining your character in ways success never could. Your patience today is shaping the person you're meant to become. God isn't withholding your blessing. He's protecting you from receiving it before you're ready to steward it well. And when the time comes, you'll understand why every moment of waiting mattered. Have you ever felt something pulling you back from a situation that seemed harmless? An instinct telling you not to trust someone, even though they appeared kind. A hesitation that made you step away when everyone else was diving in. That's not paranoia. That's not fear holding you back from happiness. That's divine guidance working through your intuition. Your heart is guarded for a reason greater than you realize. When God protects your heart, He doesn't just shield you from obvious threats. He also instills within you a spiritual discernment that helps you protect yourself. Those boundaries you've built, they're not walls keeping love out. They're filters ensuring only what's meant for you gets in. Every boundary you feel is God preparing the perfect path. There's wisdom in being selective about who gets access to your energy, your time, your vulnerability. It's not about being cold or closed off. It's about honoring the sacred space within you that's reserved for divine purpose. Some people mistake a guarded heart for a broken one, but there's a difference between being damaged and being discerning. Your caution is evidence of growth. Your selectivity is proof of self-respect. And your boundaries, they're confirmation that God is guiding your soul toward alignment, not just acceptance. Life doesn't pause for your struggles. Bills still arrive. Responsibilities still demand attention. Conflicts still erupt around you. Yet in the middle of it all, there are these strange, unexplainable moments where everything goes quiet. Not the silence of emptiness, but the stillness of presence. Your mind was racing just seconds ago, and suddenly there's clarity. Your chest was tight with anxiety, and then breath comes easier. That sudden calm in a storm. It's more than coincidence. These moments aren't random. They're interventions. When circumstances should have you falling apart, but somehow you're holding steady. That's divine protection, operating in real time. It's the hand of God stead in your spirit when the world is trying to shake you loose. Pay attention to the times when panic should have consumed you, but didn't. Notice when fear should have paralyzed you, but you found courage instead. Your heart feels heavy, yet these quiet moments show protection. They're reminders that you're not navigating this journey alone. Every unexpected breath of peace is evidence that something greater is sustaining you. Divine care doesn't always announce itself with miracles. Sometimes it whispers through the calm that makes no logical sense. You were at your lowest point, ready to give up, convinced that nobody cared or understood. And then someone showed up. Maybe it was a stranger who said exactly what you needed to hear. Maybe it was an old friend who reached out after months of silence. Maybe it was a mentor who appeared when you were questioning your entire path. Sometimes the right person enters your life when you least expect it. Their arrival feels random, but the timing is too perfect to be coincidence. They carry the wisdom you were searching for. They offer the encouragement your soul was starving for. They provide a perspective that shifts everything. These meetings aren't accidents. They're proof your heart is guided. God places people in your path precisely when you need them most. Not a moment too early, when you wouldn't be ready to receive their message. Not a moment too late, when despair might have already won. But exactly when their presence will make the difference. Think about the conversations that changed your trajectory. The chance encounters that led to opportunities. The relationships that formed at pivotal crossroads. Every single one was orchestrated with intention. Divine timing doesn't just close wrong doors. It opens the right ones through the right people at the right moment. Fear has a loud voice. It speaks with urgency, with certainty, with all the reasons why things won't work out. It points to every failure, every disappointment, every moment when prayers seem to go unanswered. Fear wants you to believe that protection is an illusion, that you're on your own, that hope is foolish. But faith speaks quietly. It doesn't compete with fear's volume. It simply reminds you of what you've already survived. You may not see it yet, but your heart is always being protected. Faith isn't about having all the answers or seeing the full picture. It's about choosing to trust even when circumstances scream otherwise. It's about remembering that every time you thought you wouldn't make it through, you did. Every time the darkness felt permanent, light eventually came. Trust grows in the quiet moments when fear wants to take over. It's cultivated in the decision to believe that what's meant for you will not miss you, that what was taken away was making room for something better, that every delay, every detour, every disappointment is somehow working together for your good. Faith over fear isn't naive optimism. It's battle-tested confidence in a power greater than your circumstances. Look back at everything you've been through. Every heartbreak that felt like the end. Every closed door that shattered your plans. Every person who walked away. Every moment you sat in silence, wondering if anyone heard your prayers. Now look at where you are today. Still standing. Still breathing. Still hoping. That's not luck. That's protection. That's purpose. That's destiny unfolding exactly as it should. Every step you've taken has been part of the path God prepared. Even the steps that felt like mistakes. Even the detours that seemed to lead nowhere. They're all guiding you toward this moment, toward the person you're becoming, toward the life that's waiting for you. Your heart wasn't just being guarded from pain, it was being prepared for purpose. The struggles refined you. The waiting strengthened you. The losses taught you what truly matters, and every single moment of protection, seen and unseen, was shaping you for a future brighter than you can imagine. Your heart is safe, your story guided, and your future bright. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust that the same God who protected you through every storm is the same God preparing something beautiful ahead. Your heart's destiny is secure.